when we first talked about this, you said that for a long time in the U.S., you didn't like to tell people that you were from Colombia because you were so exhausted of having to defend yourself and defend your country people and the image that, look, I don't do cocaine. I don't know people who can give you cocaine. Stop asking me. I don't know Pablo Escobar. That it almost became like this thing you kind of wanted to hide to some degree. But later on, you really saw it as a point of pride and being able to explain, not just to Americans, but anybody you met, that, look, we're so much more than just drugs and cocaine and all this crap. What was that transformation like for you? Was it just with age you became more aware of, look, if somebody doesn't understand what our country's about, it's my responsibility to show them different?
I think part of it is age. Like you said, you kind of learn to control your emotions and your quick, hot-blooded reactions that we Latinos have built in. It's very sad for me to say that I would not share that I was Colombian, because I knew that it was going to be an argument. I would get pissed off immediately. I think over time I have learned that, sadly, some people don't realize, or I would say most people that make the comments don't realize how rude they're being, and they think they're building rapport with you because they tell you that they know something about your country, and they just don't. It doesn't click to them that the one thing that they're mentioning about your country is the one thing that you're most ashamed of. But I want to believe that they had good intentions, and they were just like, oh, I know something about your country.
So they try to find
I watched the documentary. Yeah, I watched the documentary about Pablo Escobar, and I'm like, oh, for the love of God. So
That's frustrating.
The funny thing that also happened is that as I grew older, that kind of went away before Narcos came along. And there was a shift when Sofia Vergara went big on Modern Family, and people stopped saying, oh, you're Colombian like Pablo Escobar, and they're asking, you're Colombian like Sofia Vergara, and I'm like, yes!
Score!
Finally! Because Shakira was not as big in the U.S. at the time, but everybody knew Gloria from Modern Family. So, especially at the beginning, she was such a different character, and she was she's full of personality. And she and I come from two different cities. She's from Barranquilla. She's from the coast. She's way more like Gloria. They use a lot more cleavage, and they're way more comfortable on their skin than people from the capital that they make fun of us and say that we cover up like onions in 23 different layers. That's just, inner country.
Rivalry.
Yeah. But for a while, I was very happy that the conversation shifted to, you're Colombian like Sofia Vergara, or like the girl from Modern Family. And I'm like, yes, thank God.
To you is much more of a compliment than a dig at, all the violence and horror.
Yeah, because obviously she was a very funny, likable character. It wasn't a horrible assassin.
Yeah.
There were so many thousands, if not millions of lives that were affected by this man negatively.
Yeah.
Yes, he did some positive stuff, obviously, because otherwise he wouldn't have been so protected. Like, he would buy people houses, but then, of course, these people would protect him.
No, but let's talk about that. So he did so much for the poor community, right? That, it's one of the ways that he was able to get so many kids and teenagers and young adults to be lookouts throughout town with radios and walkie-talkies to just kind of keep eyes out for him in Medellin or
volunteers.
Bogota. Yeah, this guy would go in and construct hospitals. He would build schools, soccer stadiums, housing projects, all these things. So if you're somebody who's on the lower end of the economic spectrum, you're somebody who's poor, and I would say that there were a lot of people. If he's feeding you, right? How are you going to bite the hand of someone who's feeding you? So it just made sense. And I think even when he died, the there are some videos. You can go on YouTube and check them out if you're listening. Just type in Pablo Escobar funeral, and you can see the support that this guy, even in death, that he had, from his local community.